afternoon, everybody, and welcome to VegasAllNetRadio.com. And it's time to meet some of the great people that work at this station. It's time for Spotlight on Vegas All Net Radio. And here are your hosts, Mr. Ricky Cash and Mr. J.P. John Styles. Take it away, guys.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello there.
Hello there. Ricky Cash, along with John Styles, Bobcat, of course. And our special guest today is our Director of Media Services.
I like that.
Not audio, visual, but just media services.
I like that.
That's Erma Zurita. Hello, Erma.
Hello, boys.
Oh, I like the way she talks.
Hello, boys.
Hello.
I've cultured this voice after so many years in the radio business.
Oh, it's a good voice.
Thank you.
I'm still working on mine.
It's a good voice. Are you really?
Yeah.
Next week, guess what?
What?
Aaron Phillips is back.
Oh, God, we're in deep poo-poo.
Oh, and I can sit under the table. You can sit behind the camera. The Big A is on his way back.
Yeah.
Although he still has the the secondary. No, I'm really saying that wrong. He has the second main graduation.
There you go.
Coming up tomorrow night. Ms. Radar, better known as Stacy, will be graduating from Towson University in Maryland. Very nice.
Wait. I thought it was the other way around.
No,
I thought she already
no.
graduated.
No, Alyssa graduated
first.
a week ago Saturday, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And then I thought Aaron was coming back either late Thursday or Friday. Don't you think he's not milking it? He's coming back Saturday.
I hope we're still here on Saturday.
Well, it depends
If
on...
I have anything to say with it, we will be.
What do you think, Bobcat? You think we'll be here Saturday?
I know you'll be here Saturday, and I know what he's done. I'll bet you 5-1 right now he's got some tickets to the Yankees. You think he might a little slide down to New York action there?
I don't know.
He's staying till Saturday, guys.
I would not be surprised.
You know,
Except that the Yanks are on the road.
Yep. Wouldn't be
the Yankees are on the road this weekend.
Yeah, because the Mets are at home.
Well, maybe he'll decide to go see the Mets.
Oh, yeah, right.
Right.
Over my dead body, right? Not a chance. Anyway,
We have somebody peeking in the window there.
it happens.
Should we get him in
We're-
here?
we're-
No, they're
We're
coming
rock
in. They're
stars.
coming
Are they
in
coming in
next
next week?
It's 'cause we're rock
They're going to
stars.
be fun.
They're going to be a good time next
If
week.
their last show or their show today was any indication,
Right.
we're going to have a ball.
It's Carolyn and
Steven Jacobs.
Jacob's
Ladder.
From
Ladder.
the Jacobs Ladder Show.
Do you know, when I first heard that there was a show called Jacob's Ladder here, I thought of that movie way back when with,
Adrian Brody,
was he
where he
in
gets
it?
put in the ice box.
Was Adrian Brody in
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
and Tim Robbins. Wasn't Tim Robbins in it?
Yes.
That was a weird, I don't remember anything
It was a
about
horror
it.
film.
It was a horror film.
It was at the same time the Hellraiser genre was really popular.
I thought those guys were, like Hellraisers.
I'll tell you what, he's the one person around this studio that I've seen that would give Michael Leonetti a run for his money as far as
Dress-wise.
Yeah.
We were just
The guy's
discussing
got
it.
some class.
We were just discussing
He really
it.
does it with styles.
There you go. Irma said to me out in the hall.
And Carolyn
always looks. Are you kidding me? Dressed
impeccable.
always. And the reason why is because, according to Irma, and Irma knows. According to Irma, she says that because they want their guests to feel that they're in a professional environment. Isn't that right, Irma?
That's exactly right.
That's why they're not introducing us to any of their guests.
Not one.
Right?
Not one. We have.
They're pretty smart.
I'm surprised they allow him in.
Well, there's an old adage, right? Dress
To success.
Just dress for success.
That's
Right.
right.
They
There's
they
another-
want
there's
to
another
make
good
sure.
saying.
What's that?
Fake it till you make it.
That's right. No, and that's exactly.
That's us.
It's actually, and that actually has been proven to work
Of
because
course
you
it
put
is.
yourself in the mindset of being successful or making it, and you do.
Right.
We used to use that in timeshare all the time because that's a low, high risk, low impact. Are you kidding me? You make a sale one sale a week, and you're making some decent money. You make 2 or 3 sales a week, and you get paid on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're 6 figures easy. But you go 2 days without making a sale in that business, and they're ready to hang you by your toes.
Of course.
It is one of the most stressful sales environments I have ever been in. And competitive. You know how if somebody gets a new show here or a new advertiser, everybody goes, yeah, great job. Somebody gets a sale, they go, lucky son of a Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, they got to lay down.
Yeah, well, you know the business. Yeah, it was a lay down.
It was a lay down.
Yeah, it was a plant.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Hey,
Irma's
Let's talk to Irma today.
Which one? Which one?
Irma's filling in today. She was originally scheduled for June 2nd. We were supposed to have the gambling show on today.
Gambling with an Edge.
Which was a good show this morning. I had a list of questions because they were talking about, fantasy games in football are a big gambling moneymaker.
Really? I had no idea.
Oh, my goodness.
No idea.
There's so many of them because they make so much money.
But that's only one day a week for 16 weeks. There's only so much you can.
Right.
Baseball is 162 games, and they have two major. I'm stealing their thunder. They have two major outfits out there now that are making over $1 billion. One is DraftKings. The other is, I don't know, whatever. And they had a nice take on that show this morning. It was
what?
Pretty good.
With
You
Bob-
heard it, didn't you, Bobcat?
Yes, I actually paid pretty good attention, and the gentleman there, and he said that this new particular sports betting thing here, online thing, and racing is going to be added to it. So they don't have any racing on there.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
You could start a fantasy race season.
Well, I got way too much to do.
Yeah,
I
really.
got way too much to do.
He certainly does.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we switched them because they couldn't make it in studio. They were here at 10 for a show. They did a 10 to 11. Then they pre-recorded a show from 1 to 2.
Right. Yeah.
And so by the time 3:30 came along, 2:30 came along, all they wanted to do was call in.
Yeah.
And as much as I have no problem with that, kind of want them in the studio. So we played around a little bit, made a couple of changes. They will be joining us on June 2nd.
Cool.
And Irma, who was scheduled for June 2nd, will be
Kind
in
enough
today.
to switch.
And that's
I
great.
could be the fill-in anytime you guys need me.
Oh, wow. See, that's a team player.
That's what I like about being around here.
That's true. We do all work together very well.
We certainly are attempting to. And in the 19 or 20 days that we've been here, I think we haven't been doing all that bad.
Not bad.
Badly.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah,
We've brought
we're
on a
getting
few new
there.
shows.
I haven't jumped off the balcony yet. Although yesterday, if I would have stayed yesterday, I might have. I was so sick when I came in here yesterday.
I was going to throw you off of the balcony.
You would have been following along with that sandwich of yours, too. Now, let's not go there.
All
right.
Okay.
All right.
I'll cut you some slack this time.
Just keep the peppers off the...
Next time, get your own.
Get
damn
your own,
sandwich.
I know. I loved it. Anyway, moving right along. So the purpose of Spotlight on VANR is something that we came up with. This is actually a fill-in show, which has now got legs of its own, and will
Actually, it's a Phil Less show.
Oh, it's a Phillips list show,
Yeah,
but it was a fill-in show.
but Phil's not here.
I get that. So
Who's on first?
what?
Are these the corny jokes you guys do all the time?
You should get Vegas Unwrapped. It gets ridiculous by the second
No,
hour.
this is-
By the
this is a
second hour,
lot better.
you don't have to
This
cut
is-
his hair. He's already pulling it out.
This is a lot better than our Thursday nights.
Anyway, so the idea, of course, is to focus in on all the people who are contributing to the growth of this station that we have committed ourselves to, come hook or crook, to make it to the top of the internet radio food chain, if you will. We want VANR to really be, I keep getting that lunch in there. We want to make it as good as it can be, and we're doing it with some
With styles.
with styles, with some great show hosts and some great staff, and we're going to keep spotlighting them until we run out of people.
I believe this in my heart.
Are we stop? This is a serious comment
This
now?
is a serious comment.
All right.
If we didn't have the people that we have here right now, I don't think we would have made it this long.
You mean they've carried us for 19 days?
No, seriously. Everyone has bought into our vision on what we want to do with the station and the shows. And
Wait till they get their email today.
not only the staff, but the show hosts as well.
Right.
And it's just really gratifying to be working in an environment like that. We've all worked in some crap places, and it's just
And we don't expect
Sorry.
we don't expect to be 100% perfect either, but not by any stretch. In fact, one of the people that we talked to today about doing a show made it very clear to us that he wants no censorship, and we said to him that this is the final frontier, internet radio. You say anything you want. He says, "Well, what if I don't like the way you're doing some things? You going to stop me from saying it on the air?" I said, "Absolutely not.
No.
Go for it.
Just no
Just don't do it
libel,
twice. Just don't do it twice."
no libel, no racial attacks, no misogyny.
Good
Yeah.
we have really good attorneys, so we don't care what you say.
Well, we look, on our shows, we try to stay. Is that you?
That's me.
Okay. On our shows, Vegas Unwrapped and Spotlight on Vegas, on VANR, we try to stay away from really controversial topics.
And blue language. You do.
Well, yeah, we do. We do. I mean, occasionally
And I'll tell
something
you,
will slip
most
out,
of the shows on the station do as well.
Yeah.
and it's nice. I mean, we
I got
as
some purple stuff I use once in a while, but
Aaron always worried about, and understandably so, now that I have some experience in this, he always worried about being branded. He
Right.
didn't want his show, or our show, to be branded. He didn't want us to be liberal. He didn't want us to be conservative. He didn't want us to be religious, or he just wanted us to stay middle of the road. We could bring in guests that maybe would take a stance on something, but by and large, unless it was something that really irritated us on a personal level, we were going to stay away from controversial topics.
Right.
And not because we don't want to comment on them, but because we didn't want to be branded. Oh, I'm not listening to their show. They're so liberal. No.
wait till I get my show.
You can actually have a show? You're going to get one, you think?
I don't know. We'll see.
I've been thinking about one, and I thought John would be a great co-host for me if I did one.
Really?
Because it would be about the current topics, whether they were controversial or not.
Well, see, what I wouldn't mind seeing is a show that, let's say it is political. I'd love to see a staunch liberal and a staunch conservative.
That's exactly
and
what I'm
really,
looking for, yeah.
that I wouldn't mind at all.
Yeah.
You know what it would be like to a certain extent? The War Zone. Now, the War Zone was one hell of a good show. I don't know if you guys got a chance to listen to it, Bobcat. Chime in anytime you want, because I know you did the War Zone.
Yeah, I actually helped co-produce that show and engineered the show, and I miss those guys.
I
They
do too.
were funny, man.
They were, and believe me, they took a stance, and they never backed off 1 second from what they felt like. And did the phone lines light up when those guys were blasting somebody?
I mean, it got to be to the point a couple of times to where I thought we were going to have to go get a partition to split these two up.
Not only them, but the callers.
Oh.
Oh, they would go crazy. Keith irritated a lot of people,
Yeah.
which is fine. Which is fine.
But we need
it wasn't
that.
us. But
We
that
need that.
It wasn't us. We couldn't
No.
do that.
We need that kind of thing in our society today because everybody. Well, let's not go there.
I don't know if I
save
agree
for
with
the
that,
show.
John.
No. Listen, people are just too laid back. We need people out there kicking ass and taking names and taking a stand, regardless of what side they're on. I mean, in my head, I've got Jane Curtin and Dan Aykroyd. That's the kind of show I want to see. Jane, you ignorant slut.
That was the best. There was nothing better. On that note, we'll stop and take our first break and address all your concerns to Vegas Unwrapped JPEGs at gmail.com. We'll be back, guys, right after this. Welcome back. Tuesday afternoon spotlight on the new Vegas AllNet Radio. Our guest today, Erma Zurita. So
That's a
Erma,
great name.
So Erma,
Zurita.
I notice a little Oriental background here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Excuse me, I think the proper term is Asian.
It is Asian.
Yes.
You can't say Oriental
You can't
anymore?
say
It's
Oriental.
Is
not
that like
politically-
saying it's really?
It's the usually the reply from a smartass Asian is, "What am I, a rug?"
Oriental rug. They're expensive.
Yes.
All right, so tell us about your Asian background.
Well, my dad was Air Force mechanic.
Yeah, but that's not an
In
ethnic.
Hold on, in the air ground equipment age group in the Air Force, and he was stationed to Thailand where he met my mother.
Oh, cool.
And so my mom is full-blooded Thai. He stole her away from her parents and her restaurant there, and I have been traveling the world until I was about 13, where we moved here to Vegas.
Cool.
So when did he meet her? Around what year?
1966 or 67, something
So
like that.
he was in country?
He was during the war.
You
yeah.
like that? You like
Yeah,
that?
that was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm a military brat, which I love. I've lived all over the world. Thailand for a couple years, which I don't remember because I was only 2 when I left. Then I moved to Japan. We stayed at Tachikawa
I love
Air
Japan.
Force base there for 4 years. California for 2 years. And then my formative years, which I call my formative years, was in Italy, Aviano Air Force Base for 5 years. And then my dad got the choice. You know how in the military you get the choice of going to these different places, and he had a choice of 5 places. He brought him to my mom, and she was very excited about the idea of Las Vegas, so we moved here.
How do you like that? What year?
1980 was when we moved here.
Wow.
So I've been here for quite a few years.
Almost a native.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how long did it take you to feel like you were a native Las Vegan? And I say that for a reason, because I'm going to give you an interesting example.
Since I was 13, I think it was probably mid-20s, so mid-20, 25, so 13, 7 plus 5, 12 years.
12 years. How about you, that guy, Bobcat?
Yeah, I've been here going be 6 years. July 3rd of this year, I'll be here 6 years.
Do you almost feel like, to a certain extent, you're a native now?
It's starting to work that way. I still miss the Carolinas, and
Right.
and I spent so many years there. That's why. But we're culturing. Ms. Bobcat loves it here. Mm-hmm. She said, well, "We're dying here." I said, "Okay, we'll die here. That's fine with me." So,
Later rather than sooner.
Yeah.
JPEG, now you spent a lot of your formative years here, right?
Yeah, I've been here 15 years this time, almost 16.
This time.
Pardon me?
This time.
Yes, I've lived. This is the 3rd time I've lived in Vegas. I lived here in the late 50s when I was a little kid.
Wow.
Went to Fifth Street School.
During the heyday.
Yes, yeah. So the Vegas Knights Tales, I'm just having a ball with those guys because we remember a lot of the same things. So, I've felt like a native for a long time.
I think when you get here to Vegas, you find out what you can do, which you can't do anywhere else.
Yep.
And you fall in love. It doesn't matter that we're running out of water. It doesn't matter that it's 125 degrees in the middle of summer.
That keeps
None
out
of
the
that-
riffraff.
None of that matters.
Yeah. The weak at heart.
It's the ability to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go down and get a $3 steak dinner.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Or go grocery shopping.
Or even go.
Yeah.
I lived in Grand Junction for about a year, years ago when I was married. Everything rolled up at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Even the convenience store, which are usually 24/7, 9 o'clock.
It's amazing. We moved here in December of '94. By the summer of '95, I knew we were natives.
Right.
Now ask me why.
Why?
Because Kim yelled out the window in the car, "Get the hell out of my town!" when a California driver cut her off. That's how I knew. Okay, so that's where we are, and that's exactly how that came about.
I like that.
So Irma, Air Force, all over the world, Vegas, and none of these were your choices, right? I
Nope,
mean,
none of mine.
they were all family decisions.
Well, when I got older, of course, I had choices. Like I moved to Grand Junction for a year. I loved Colorado. It's beautiful there. I would have loved to have stayed there, but I didn't like my husband.
Well, I'm on number 3, so not husbands.
Oh,
but I'm number. Hey. Gotta be careful.
My mom is here. I love my mom very much. I don't want to be very far away from her. She's, elderly. Not that she's dying anytime soon. I'm
Yeah.
sure she's probably going to outlast me, but I want to be able to spend every week with her
Good.
and see her all the time.
Is your
So-
dad still around?
My dad lives in Florida with his huge family.
Oh, he
so-
has another family.
Yeah. Well, he has brothers. My dad was the 3rd oldest of 9 brothers and
Wow.
1 sister.
Wow.
His
He's got a
mom was
huge
busy. Ooh, that's about as controversial as we get.
And this is how I could tell them apart. My dad, his nickname when he was growing up was Chicky, and then there was my 4th uncle, and his name was Cuatro, and then there's quinto,
Oh,
and then
no.
there's sexto. My favorite uncle was my Uncle Ocho.
Oh, Joe. Oh, no.
Oh, Joe.
Well, because they're all the same name with the number at the end of the name. so.
Gotcha.
Now, I know a little bit, but you're going to share it with the rest of the audience. You basically grew up in the food business.
I was a very rebellious and bad kid, and one night after a full night of partying with some very bad friends, I came home just after dawn, and my mom was up waiting for me. And she chased me, being the Asian woman that she is, she chased me around with her meat cleaver. And right after that, I had to go to her work after school and help her. And I was restricted. So, I was like on restriction. And so after work, I would go and help her, and she worked at a 7-Eleven store where she was a clerk there. And so I would stock the shelves, and I would go get ice from the back. Because back then, they didn't have an ice machine that dumped it. You had to carry it in buckets from the back to the front. And so I did that. And during the summer, I got a full-time kids job stocking from the owner, who really, it was a family atmosphere, very much like it is here. And so I just moved up. I tried a couple of other jobs, even when I had the 7-Eleven job, and I moved my way up the chain and became a manager. So I was there for 26, 27, 28 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a long time for slushies.
And big gulps,
Bill Gulps.
right? And beer and cigarettes and wine. I have lots of great stories from when I worked there.
We have 40
We should do a
minutes.
show.
Yeah.
We should do a show on that.
Yeah, you should have it. Wow. So, fast forward,
Okay.
out of the food business.
The owner of the store, who originally gave me and my mom our job, passed away. And the store was going to be left to my mom, but because of franchise rules, she could not have it. So the store was sold. They brought in their own management team, and I was technically unemployed for about a year, and I needed a job. During that year hiatus, which I had earned my unemployment, and I was looking for a job, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to get into.
Didn't know what you wanted to be when you grew up.
Right. I ran into a couple of girlfriends, and one of them was just getting divorced after like 20-something years. So you know how women are when they get free
Yes.
from a shackle.
Yes.
They go crazy. And another girlfriend of mine who had just broke up with her boyfriend, and so she was also going a bit crazy. And so we went on
You fell right into that, didn't
dating
you?
sprees. I am a lover of stories and adventure and gossip, but I like doing it vicariously where I can see it happening. I'm a big voyeur, right? So I loved seeing all this drama, and I, of course, had my own little bits of drama here and there. So it was like a summer of crazy dating, and we would get together at this bar and tell these stories about these horrible guys that we had met and dated and the things that happened. Like one of them turned out to be homeless and was living behind somewhere, and
In a van down by the river.
right, and or another guy who only liked one particular kind of girl, so he dated all of us, and he had the same MO for trying to get us to do things, and it was crazy. So all these great stories. One of the girls, she dated an 18-year-old military baseball player guy, and he looked like a little tiny kid, and we couldn't get over the fact that he looked like a little tiny kid, but he was of age. And so we would tell these stories at the bar, and
Probably Rich Perez.
we were and it was very entertaining. We had an audience at the bar all the time. Our friends would come down and drink with us. The people at the bar would gather, and I finally met my fiance, or re-hooked up with a friend who became my fiance, and he set us up with a podcast. He was an audio man in the union anyway.
Cool.
So on the kitchen table, after out drinking with the girls one night, were 3 microphones, 3 headphones, a board much like this but smaller, a computer, everything. And he goes, "Why don't you ladies sit down for, I don't know, an hour or so and tell some stories?" And so we did. And we put it up on the internet and got a lot of really good feedback from it. So we decided to come to Vegas All Net Radio, where a friend of mine had a radio show, and buy our own show.
How do you like that? So it comes full circle.
It did.
Now, is that show the same show that I appeared on?
Yes.
Oh, my.
So they're no longer with us.
No, they're not.
But it was the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City. You can go to sincitybounty.com and go visit them, because they're still doing the show. I retired from the show after my fiance passed away.
Yes, I know that.
But they're still doing the show. They're still doing great. It's very blue. It's very sexual. It's very it's about relationships and dating, and it's the nitty gritty, you know.
Very nitty and very gritty. all male guests on that show had to name parts.
Right, but then
Can I get their phone number?
Yeah, I'll hook you up. I was doing the show every week.
It's more dates that you're gonna have to pay for up front.
And I'm a big fan of being really serious about an endeavor you take. So I was the serious person behind, the show, the one that did most of the booking, most of the social media, most of the structure of the show. And I was often at the station, and I heard there was a job opening for what Bobcat is doing, which is board operating or studio tech. And they wanted to hire my fiance, who made $27.8 an hour, and he wasn't going to take that for a lowly
minimum wage.
And I was not employed at the time, and I said, well, can I have a job? And they said, sure. And that's how I became an employee.
It's crazy.
Cool.
Aaron and I agonized, and I mean agonized, about appearing on that show. We just did not know we knew about it,
right,
and we knew what went on, but neither one of us were very anxious, if you will, to put ourselves in that type of position.
Expose yourself.
It's exposed by, and that is a perfect word.
The show does ask some pretty risque questions, like the worst date you ever had, and if you name your private parts.
Well, that was the funniest part of the entire show, because I came up with one real quick, and I had these girls laughing for an hour. We're not going to repeat it here. But it was, I'll tell you what, it was a show that absolutely raised some, hackles. But it was fun. It was fun.
For the genre it is. It's a very fun show,
And it was all cool. It brought us back to our old After Dark days on Vegas Unwrapped.
That's exactly what it is. It's a very after dark show.
Very After Dark. Anyway, so...
Okay, so...
well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Because, I don't want to lose the mood. But, somebody's got to pay for this show, because John and I aren't. So let's bring it back after we hear from these few sponsors that still doing business with Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, John Stiles. Vegas All Net Radio.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Vegas All Net Radio with our special guest today, Erma Zurita.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's pretty good. You're developing that voice very well.
He's
my mentor
right.
has been teaching me.
Nice, nice.
And he's not your father. Right. So, Erma, take it from here. Tell us all about what you're doing, what direction you want to go in, and what do you see yourself in the future? That's what we always like to ask that.
Well, I want to start with, I want to thank the two of you, and of course Aaron, for bringing me on board with the new Vegas All Net Radio, because I love the station. When I started, it was 4 shows. There were only 4 shows on the station.
Wow. And
Bruce Garrett, the salesman for Hemisphere Media before and Lotus after, built this station up to almost 45 or 50 shows at one time, and I think we're down to like 30 now. But that's amazing. And I know that you say you want us to be at the top of the food chain of internet radio, and I think for Vegas we are, because of what we offer. And that comes from way back then. Production and support, board operator, staff, and some of the things that I started to do was to show people how to market their shows. Because, a lot of radio, it's you depend on the listener. With internet radio, you can't depend on just a random person tuning in.
Right.
You have to let people know you have a show. You have to put it out there into the market. tease them to come and listen to the show.
They have to make a conscious effort.
That's right.
To come and listen to your show.
That's right. And all of the majority of our show hosts here are really, really good at that.
Yeah.
Hopefully I had a lot to help with that, because that's what I like to do. I like to show people how to use Facebook to market their show, how to use Twitter, what kinds of things they can do. We were talking about the Jacobs and their professional dress. Not that I had anything to do with that, but doing a show, I understand that if you don't treat your show as a professional thing, the people who come in will not treat you as a professional. So they're more likely to flake on you. So it works with your communication. If you just say offhand, oh, you should be on my show, and then never follow up with an email or a phone call or a text, they're not going to know that you're serious about having them on your show.
Exactly right.
You know, and so I developed this style where you send an initial email. You ask for pertinence. You ask for their social media. So when you use your social media, you can tag them on their social media. You ask for a photo that they're willing to share, so you can promote the fact that they're going to be on the show. That shows that you are treating your show like a professional thing, and they in turn will respect you for that and treat you as a professional as well. And your flakiness level goes way down. So that's
I like the little sign that you have on your door.
The
about
different social medias.
Yeah,
right.
the different social medias, which I think is right on. It's absolutely perfect.
I am by no means an expert. I didn't go to college for it or anything like that. It's I've had things to market of my own. You talked about my calligraphy. You really like my calligraphy. I've been a calligrapher since 1995.
Wow.
And I've had a website since 1995. So building websites, which is one of the things that I do here, has been something that I've learned trial and error on my own, and the different things that I could do to help market myself. I've been doing that since 20 years?
Yeah.
1995?
You know what? Something that really impressed me that I discovered this morning, I was working on an intro video for one of our shows that I finished yesterday afternoon, last night. This morning, when I went to our VANR page, there it was.
On their page, that's right.
On their page. And it was like you picked up on that, you took care of it and got it. Because I was going to come in this morning and ask you, could you load this up, and bang, it was already there. And it's like, cool.
Well, I do spend a lot of time on the internet doing social media for either the station or myself or some other friends. I do a couple of volunteer jobs, so I do work for them. And so I know how to set up alerts to see that you put that video up.
Right.
I know how to set up alerts on Google to see if there are news stories that might relate to anything that we might need. I can teach anyone how to do that just for its relevance, and I can explain why Facebook is not a suckhole.
No, you're right.
Or why Twitter, even though it speaks a weird language, you can still market with it.
Yes.
And all of that is from trial and error.
And why don't you tell everybody who your number one project has been for the last 2.5 weeks? And
Mr. Ricky Cash. But you are a fabulous learner, too.
Well, I've been taking so much bull from Aaron and John for years now, as far as being, just technologically challenged, that it's been nice.
I think the term we used was technologically illiterate.
Okay, so maybe it was.
Illiterate? No, I wouldn't say illiterate. But here's the one thing that really bothers me.
I'm a beginner, even to this day. And I've been using these tools for years.
The only thing that when it comes to, I'm almost 50.
What do you mean you got to put ink in that printer?
I'm almost 50, so I am not in that school area of social media at its prime, right? That's like 25, 35, 40-year-olds right now.
Tell me about it.
I'm almost 50, but I'm still, because I've had to market myself.
Right.
And I know the value of it. What bothers me, I think, more than anything, is people who don't even want to learn. At least you are willing to learn, because you have to change with the times. And internet radio is the future of radio. All of the shows here are archived on the website. They can be archived to where they can be put into podcast form. Those archives can be podcasts,
right,
where they can be distributed electronically. And if I subscribe to quite a few off of iTunes, you can do it from Google Play. There's a bunch of other RSS feed readers that you can subscribe to new shows, and I want to make sure that we can use that in marketing as much as possible. So I already talked to you guys. I would love to see all of our shows up on iTunes if we can, whether by their means or us doing it.
Right.
Either way, we
Right.
can teach them or we can do it for them. One of the two.
I like the teaching aspect. I like the fact that every now and then I would, long before all of this happened, I would see, oh, Irma's having another class this week.
That's right.
And on a couple of occasions, all right, Aaron said to yours truly, why don't you go to one of those? You might learn something. And I'd say, shut up. Little did I know that he was correct. And I'm happy for it now because, and every day, I mean, it's literally been, she'll tell you the truth. Every day I've come in and said, I want you to show me how to do this. I want to, how did you get to that? I mean, and when I synced my home laptop computer to the one that's here in the office, and I did it by myself, it was like I almost did a dance. I was so excited. Next day, Irma, I did it. What did you do? I said, I got the two computers in sync. Oh, so you can see the proud, it's like a mother. Proud look, look, son, good job, It
was awesome.
How to Train Your Dragon, Part 3.
So I definitely want to start up the classes again.
I
know the hosts love that. I know Carolyn and Stephen won't mind me saying, but they took my classes, and their social media is by far some of the best that I have seen from students, I guess, of mine.
We almost have to make it a requirement, John, for all new shows to attend, that type of class. And
they're free for show hosts.
I don't think that's legal.
That's the other thing. They're free for show hosts.
We can highly recommend that.
Yes.
Which I would, absolutely.
I can't put an addendum to a note I sent out earlier today.
But I don't think we're going to have that problem because in the last couple of days we've had 3 or 4 possible news shows that basically are asking that. Will you help us do this?
That's right.
Will you help us do that? And so
I think one of the things that she had said earlier that we offer that other places don't offer.
Yes.
That again put us above and beyond what the average
That's right.
radio station is doing out there. Great stuff, Erma.
And that's just the beginning.
Yes. Now you have the video
Right.
aspect, the video recording for any shows that want it.
Right.
That itself is a podcast, a YouTube podcast that you can also put up on iTunes.
Yep.
That people can just download and watch it every hour. The hours that come up there, which is great as well. I love it.
We've had shows in the past 6.5 years that Vegas Unwrapped's been on. We have some shows on our Unwrapped 2000 page, whatever that
Channel.
is. Channel,
Yeah.
right? We have some that are over 4,000 viewers, which pretty good.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
too bad for a local
that's
show.
the ones with the fart jokes, right?
No, those are the ones with the mobsters. Where we had Colada. He went around telling everybody,
Hey.
you better watch the show.
Hey, if you're broadcasting live from Las Vegas, what better than Las Vegas-based shows, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the
Yeah.
Vegas Nights guys are going to do fabulous here.
Listen, I don't know if you got to hear their first show. It was awesome.
It was
Those
off the
guys-
wall. It was
yeah,
great.
It was.
It was
Those
great.
Guys are gonna, those guys are going to do awesome.
I kept saying, can I come on? Can I come
Yeah.
on? Anytime you want, Ricky.
Yep.
Anytime you want.
The Jacob's Ladder, the reason their show is called Jacob's Ladder Show is because it's about ladders of success.
Right.
And their name was Jacob's.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
know.
they got their show. And they do people on ladders of success, but they focus on Vegas. They are like you. They want in-studio guests.
Right.
They don't like phone guests. They don't like Skype guests. They want in-studio
Sometimes
guests.
you can't
Yeah,
avoid
like when
that.
they're from
Right.
Australia.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then a lot of our shows are very niche shows, which I really love too. One of my very favorites, and who is a dynamo when it comes to her social media, that's Samantha Ratcliffe with Vegas Rock Dog.
Oh yeah.
It's a niche
Yeah.
for animals and pets.
Yeah, it's a great Saturday morning show.
Yeah, and I didn't
really love it.
Yeah, and I didn't teach her anything about social
Yeah.
media. She is out there, and
I
she
thought
is
it was a
putting
rock
out.
and roll show. I
is.
did.
It's based on
Well,
her
yeah,
business, which is
yeah.
Vegas Rock Dog,
Rock
which is
Dog.
rock and roll for pets.
For pets.
Yeah.
We're going to take one last break, guys. And come back, we're going to ask Erma about basically what does she see in the future? Not just for herself, but VANR, Phillips, Cash, and Styles.
Is she
and-
psychic? I didn't know that. That's cool. I can't wait.
No comment.
I could get into that, but that would be a whole nother show. Because believe me, she and my daughter Jamie have a lot in common. And we'll leave it at that. We'll come back after these final words from our good people and from ABBA. We like ABBA. ABBA.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Vegas AllNet Radio. My name is Erma, and I'm here with your fabulous hosts, Ricky Cash and John Stiles.
Yeah. And in absentia,
Aaron Phillips.
There you go.
I wanted to come back because I wanted to say thank you for Bobcat for finding ABBA songs, which I love, I grew up with, and of course, Simply the Best by Tina Turner, who was simply the best.
Yeah.
So that's my kind of music right
I
there.
liked her.
Yeah.
I
got to see her very
her.
last concert at I think it was the MGM? No, Aladdin. Her last tour.
Wow.
So my mom was drunk on the stands on the chair screaming.
All right, we got 4 minutes or so, Irma.
Wow.
Tell us, in your own words, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now. So you guys shared a little bit of your dream with me of where you wanted the station to go. Can I talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely.
So
Please do.
This is Vegas AllNet Radio, and eventually there's going to be a San Diego AllNet Radio, and pretty soon there's going to be a Denver AllNet Radio, and pretty soon there's going to be Pensacola AllNet Radio, right?
And Melbourne.
Melbourne. That's right. Paris AllNet Radio. I love that idea. So hopefully,
I'll do anything in Europe.
Within 5 years
Or
at least.
Australia.
Within 5 years at least, I hope to see myself training people who can do what I do. People do what you do what John does, and making sure that dream happens, because I love that idea. With KLAV gone and KRLV gone, that format of radio for local people, this is the last gasp for people who want to have a voice in our city. You know, there are show hosts that they want to share their knowledge. They want to share their dreams. They want to share their passions, which is why I fell in love with radio in the first place. Every show host that you guys have on the station, they are passionate about what they do.
Yeah, and it's not just an ego trip for them.
Right.
And that's what I liked about it.
It comes out in their voice when they talk about their subject, when they talk to their guests. You can see how much they love it. And I love seeing that passion in those people. And hopefully we can fill our hours with as many passionate people as we can, and then start going from city to city and doing the same thing.
Yep.
She nailed it.
I like it.
She absolutely nailed it. It is our dream. We want to franchise this whole operation, because 15 years from now, like maybe even as early as 10 years from now, there will probably be more listeners on the internet to radio shows than there are, presently on terrestrial radio, FM, satellite. What was Aaron telling us? Was it Denmark or Sweden?
Denmark.
Denmark.
There
Cut out all their FM stations.
There are a ton of people doing radio now. Some of them not broadcasting, just podcasting. Here, at least here, you don't have to have any knowledge of podcasting equipment or anything. You come here, you record it, you spread it out to the world. You get your message out to the world. You're dealing with professionals. You're dealing with all the equipment that you need. You're dealing with all the help that you need to get it out there to show people. And that's what I love about this place. We're a one-stop shop for expressing your freedom, expressing your
and all you
passion.
have to do is be concerned with the content of your show.
Yeah, that's it.
And bring that in,
You bet.
and then we can help you disseminate that.
That's right.
Well, we got about a minute left. I want to close out on this note. We had a choice, Irma, of bringing on to this station the people we thought were going to contribute the most, be valuable, and dream along with us. I had no idea that we were getting the gem that we have with this young lady.
Yep.
I had no idea. I knew what you did, but I didn't know what you're doing. Now I know for sure.
And everyone here has taken it one step further. that has exceeded my expectations of the people that we were able to bring here.
And I like it, and I think Erma has a great deal to do with it. And the fact that, she's really going to ultimately take over for me someday. And I couldn't be happier that that's the person that we chose to do it.
So now you know who's going to replace you.
I'm Ricky Cash. That's John Stiles. This is Erma. We're part of the new Vegas All Net Radio. You guys have a great week. See you Thursday night on Vegas Unwrapped.
Thank you, bye.